Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about the roles in MySQL. Typically, when multiple users with the same set of privileges, the only way to grant and revoke the privileges to the multiple users is to change the privileges of each users individually, which is time consuming. To make it easier, MySQL provides a new object called role. A role is a collection of the privileges. So basically when you do provide the roles, first we have to create the new roles. Second is grant the privileges to the role. And third is grant the role to the user. Then after that we'll see to drop the user and drop the roles. So let's get it started. So go to the terminal and try to connect to the MySQL. So before we start doing this, creating the roles, if you'd like to know how to install MySQL from the terminal and how to install MySQL Workbench, there is the existing video. So now you could see the link from in the screen here, how to install MySQL and how to install MySQL Workbench, how to import database. Existing videos are there. If you like to follow those, I'll put link in the description. Also, you'll find the link in the screen. First, before we create the role, let's try to connect to the database. To connect to the database from the terminal, the syntax is mysql -u root -p. Enter, then enter the password. This password is basically when you install while installing MySQL, the password is given as a root password. That password need to enter and press enter. Now we are successfully connected to the database and it's the version number 8.0.29. That's good. Let's try to create the new roles. To create the new roles, the syntax is create role. So I'm going to create three roles. One is dev and the read and write permissions. So I'm giving LM. LM is nothing but learning MySQL underscore dev. This is one role. Then LM underscore read. Then LM underscore write. So these are the three roles. LM is nothing but learning MySQL, then learning MySQL underscore write. Then press enter. Now you could see queries executed and 0 row affected. So now after creating the role, we need to grant the privileges to this particular role to a database. We have an existing database called Bollywood album. So we're going to grant the privileges to these roles to the database. To do that, so what I'm going to do, the syntax is grant all. So I'm going to give all privileges to the lm underscore dev. So grant all on the database name, which is Bollywood album dot star to lm underscore dev. Then press enter. So this is provided. Now I'm going to give the other role lm underscore read. So I'll give the only select role to the read role. So grant select on Bollywood album, this is the database name, dot star to lm underscore read. So what I'm in this to lm underscore read, I'm only giving the select permissions. So enter. Then to the write permission, I'm going to give grant insert update delete on database name, which is Bollywood album dot star to lm underscore write. Enter. So now we created the role, then we provided the privileges to all these three roles. So first role to lm underscore dev, we give all the privileges. Then to lm underscore read, we give just select privileges. And to lm underscore write, we give insert, update, delete privileges to this database. So now next step is we need to create the users. So the syntax is create user. So I'm going to create dev user. So lm underscore dev 1 at localhost. Then I need to give the password. So identified by. So password I'll give temp $1. So first user is created. So now I'll create a user for lm underscore read. To do that, the syntax is create user lm underscore read 1. This is the user at localhost identified by. So I'll give the password as temp $2. So read user is created. Now I need to create the write user. So to do that, syntax is create user lm underscore write 1 localhost identified by. So I'll give password as temp $3. So I'll create another user for write. So create user lm write 2 at the rate localhost identified by. The password is temp $4. So 4 users created. So one is for dev 1. This is the user dev 1. Then read lm underscore read 1 for read user. For write user, I have created 2 users. One lm underscore write 1 and lm underscore write 2. So next step is, once user is created, next step is assigning role to the user. So let's assign the roles to the user. So to do that, grant lm underscore dev to lm underscore dev 1 at the rate localhost. So assigning the role. So I provided lm dev role to the lm underscore dev 1. Same way I'm going to provide the read user. So grant lm underscore read role to read user. So lm underscore read 1 at the rate localhost, and to the write user I'm going to give the read and write permission. To do that, so the syntax is grant lm underscore read, then lm underscore write to, so both the write users. So the write username lm underscore write 1 at the rate localhost, comma lm underscore write 2 at the rate localhost. So what we did here, we provided the read and write permission to the write user, write 1 and write 2. So press enter. So here in the localhost I forgot to put the semicolon, so let's put it. So I need to write again. This is not correct syntax. So what I need to do, grant lm, let me up arrow, so I need to put the enter. So now we created the user and we assign the role to the user. Now after that, what we need to do, now let's go to go to the MySQL workbench and try to connect as a read user. So let's go here and go to the home button here. So this is the home button here to come here, and now let's create a new connection. Click on this plus sign and I'll give connection name as a read user, and I need to give the username. So the lm underscore read one, that's the username, right? Now this, click on this OK button. Then after that, click on this tile read user. Then enter the password. While creating the user, we given the password. For read user, the password was temp $2. Click on OK. So now what we need to do, we need to try to access the database. So the database syntax is use Bollywood album. So it will not work because it will give the error because the role is not active. So let's see if it works. So to execute this syntax, the shortcut key is command return. So you could see here, this is the error it's giving. It's say error code 1044 access denied. So now, so to make the role as active, so to what we need to do to make role active, the syntax is set default role lm underscore read to lm underscore read one at the rate local host. Execute this syntax. To execute this command, enter. So now you see it's executed and it shows set default role has been executed successfully. So now to affect the changes, what you need to do, we need to close this one read user and we'll need to connect one more time. So give the password, which is temp $2. Now if I execute this syntax, use Bollywood, previously it was not working with the access denied, now it should work. So command enter, now it works. So you could see here it works and 0 row affected. It works fine and it's a 0 row affected. That's great. Now we have the privileges, the select statement. Let's see if it works. So we'll type select star from Bollywood album dot track. So it should work. Let's execute. So now you could see 63 row is written and here you could see the output. That's great. Now after this, so we have provided the role, it's working fine. So after that, what we need to do, the next step is, suppose now you can provide the roles like this by using this syntax like set default role, this one, or you can go to the admin here, then come to status and system variable, click on this button and go to the system variable here, click on this, then search in the search here, type activate. So now you could see here say activate all roles on login. So if I select this and if I click on this on and persist value on, so whenever you create the roles and assign to a user, automatically the roles will be activated. So you can if you want to do that, if your company or organization want to do that, you can do this by come to here, click on give the value as on, persist value as on, this two value as on, then click on this refresh button. So it should be whenever you create the roles, automatically will get activated. That's great. Drop the user Then after that, drop the role. So how do we do that? So come here. So drop the user, the syntax is, to drop the user, the syntax is drop user, and we have created 4 users. So drop users. So first one is lm underscore dev1 @ localhost. Then we can drop all the users at a time. The another one is lm underscore read1 @ localhost. Then lm underscore write1 @ localhost. lm underscore write2 @ localhost. Then execute this instead. Localhost. Sorry, there is a mistake here. We need to give then localhost semicolon to execute command return. Now you could see this executed successfully here. You could see the syntax. Now after that, I need to drop the roles. To drop the roles, all the 3 roles we can drop at a time. The syntax is to drop a role, drop role. So it is lm underscore dev, then lm underscore read, lm underscore write, semicolon, execute. So all roles has been also dropped. That's it guys today. So today we learned create role, grant privileges, assign role to user, activate role, drop user, and drop roles. If this video is useful to you, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you. Namaste.